Welcome back to my traditional end-of-year beauty empties video where I show you everything I finished over the course of the year while moaning about what a bad idea it was to collect all my trash for such a long period of time. Seeing that I've been doing that since 2021, I don't think I will change the concept anytime soon despite my complaining, so grab yourself something to drink and maybe a sweet treat. This is going to be a long one. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Anne, a medical doctor here to teach you how to best take care of your skin and general well-being. I'm always surprised how few cleansers I actually manage to finish throughout the year, given that I cleanse my face at least once a day. But then again, I tend to have multiples open at the same time, so for those 4 I managed to finish. There are at least 4 more that are more than halfway gone and will probably show up in next year's video. The first one is the the Day Dissolve Cleansing Balm, which is a nice cleansing balm, but one that both blurs my vision a little and doesn't rinse completely clean, meaning you will need a second cleanse to go with it. Oh, and it smells strongly like eucalyptus, which always reminded me of the cough remedy of my youth. I like it, but have others I love. Another one to remove your makeup with is the Fluorasis Hydra Soothe Cleansing Oil, which smells divine, is beautifully packaged and rinses clean. I like it a lot, but have others that are just as good and less expensive. As morning or second cleanse, I finished the Balea Beauty Expert Peeling Cleanser, which is, despite the name, not really a peeling cleanser. It has 0.8% AHA and then 3% PHA and left my skin feeling hydrated and calm. While it is really nice, it doesn't really spark joy, and the same goes for the second gel cleanser, the Geek & Gorgeous Jelly Joker in a travel size. I have finished several tubes of this one over the last years as it gets the job done perfectly fine, but somehow I can't seem to fall in love with it. The toners I have finished can be divided into 2 categories, hydrating or exfoliating, and that basically sums up what I want my toners to do. The Real Barrier Extreme Essence Toner is a great one for winter as it combines hydration with a soothing effect due to the added panthenol and ceramide, while the Balea Beauty Expert Hydration Toner contains panthenol as well, but is much more lightweight and great for summer. I can see myself repurchasing either of them, even though Real Barrier isn't exactly easy to get here. For exfoliation, we have the Balea Beauty Expert Liquid Peeling Toner with 2% BHA and an old favorite, the Paula's Choice 2% BHA Liquid Defoliant. Balea is pretty similar to the one from Paula's Choice, but leaves more of a residue on my face, which is why I, despite it being 4 times more expensive, will stick to Paula's Choice. If you are someone that needs to combat breakouts on the body though, Balea is a solid option. Serums are always the category where I have the most empties to show you, and this year is no different. I adore the serum step in my routine. It is where I put the products I expect the most results from, and I use at least 1 in the mornings and 1 at night. More often actually 2 each morning and each night. And that, paired with the fact that they contain way less product than a toner, leads to quite a bit of stuff to show you. Some of them are repetitive though. I finished 5 bottles of Geek & Gorgeous Sea Glow Serum. No surprise, as it is my favorite vitamin C and a staple in my routine year round. Staying with the actives category and the brand, I also have a Geek & Gorgeous A Game 10, which, complete transparency here, wasn't used up by me but by my husband. I use prescription tretinoin for my adult acne, so in order to be able to give you the real reviews of all the over-the-counter products out there, he agreed to be my guinea pig. He's also the one that used the ordinary retinol 0.2% emulsion and the In Beauty Project Retinol Remix. Out of the 3, he preferred the one from In Beauty in terms of texture over the others, but overall I'd say that the other 2 are better suited for those that look for retinoids specifically, as In Beauty is more of an all-rounder product that also features peptides and tranexamic acid and puts less emphasis on the retinoid. Speaking of tranexamic acid, I also finished the Face Theory Exaglow Serum that has since been rebranded and is called Sea Glow Tranexamic Acid Serum. I liked it and finished it over fall when my hyperpigmentation is strongest, but can't say it was better than other tranexamic acid serums I have tried in the past. One that I really enjoyed and am debating to purchase again is the Skintegra Luna Serum Concentrate, which is a hydrating serum with peptides, fermented ingredients and cica, and falls into the same category as the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair that is Arguably a lot more expensive, but has been a favorite of mine for making my skin feel amazing for more than 10 years. Then I finished 2 serums that claim barrier support as their main feature, which always comes in handy in winter. The Green Skin Barrier Reishi Serum with fermented ingredients and collagen from mushrooms for hydration, and the Ordinary Soothing and Barrier Support Serum, which I prefer out of the two. My barrier only needs a little support in the cold, though I don't really struggle, so I'm not picky here. 2 more. One is a hydrating and antioxidant serum that I liked to take with me when I was traveling and left my vitamin C at home, the Innisfree Intensive Hydrating Serum with green tea seed. I like it a lot, but will again use whichever hydrating serum I have at hand and probably not to go out of my way to repurchase. The last one is one I have repurchased numerous times, the Niacinamide Copper Amino Isolate Serum 3. Yes, it is very expensive, but I want copper peptides in my routine, and the texture in this one is the most beautiful I have found, which is why I keep reaching for it. The eye cream category surprised me a little. I could have sworn I finished more, but that is what I found in my bag of trash. The Pixi Detoxify Serum that I used as a lightweight layer in the mornings, and the Niacinamide Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate that was more of a nighttime product due to its slightly oilier texture. Both were nice, but nothing I would repurchase. I don't use many moisturizers, usually only a lightweight one at night in the summer and a richer one at night during winter, and I did finish one of each last year. As a more lightweight option, the Geek & Gorgeous Happier Barrier that I really enjoyed and might eventually pick up again. And for the cold, the 107 Everyday Plump Hydro Cream. It is one that managed to be nourishing without feeling suffocating. I'm not easily excited by a moisturizer though, so I will probably just use whatever is left in my stash and fits the same criteria. One of the reasons why I don't use a moisturizer in the mornings is that my sunscreen doubles up as moisturizer during the day, something that works amazing for those of us with normal to oily skin. During the summer heat, I like very lightweight textures that are easy to reapply, like the Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence SPF 50, of which I finished 2 last summer, or I reach for a sweat resistant formula when I know I will be outdoors a lot, like the La Roche-Posay Anthelios UV Moon 400 SPF 50 Plus that I also finished 2 of. Both have been repurchased several times already. 2 other ones that I've already repurchased that I use more during milder weather or in winter are the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sunrise Plus Probiotics SPF 50 Plus and the Skin 1004 Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum SPF 50 Plus. In addition to that, I did test a few new options, including the Dermaco C Cinnamide Radiance Sunscreen Aqua Gel that a friend from India gave me. You can't really get it here. It was nice, but a little too rich for my face, so I ended up using it on my neck and décolleté. Another one I tried was the Alpha H Dawn to Dusk SPF 50 Plus Serum, which is lovely but pricey and in my opinion not packaged ideally. You need several pipettes of it to get enough protection, and I just found that cumbersome. And lastly, the Garnier Vitamin C Daily UV Invisible SPF 50 Plus, which is really nice and a great option you can pick up at your local drugstore without having to order online. A few random things that didn't fit any other category. I finished several lip balms from the Emile Cordon Classic Lip Balms, the flavor Rose Petal and Lisa. I don't know where I put it. And in addition to that, the La Neige Lip Sleeping Mask EX in the flavor Grapefruit. All of them were very nice, but also quite expensive, so I will not repurchase. I also finished 1 tube of current body radio frequency gel that I use with my radio frequency device and prefer over other branded options I have in the past. Moving away from the face and to the hair products I finished. 1 large pot of Olaplex No. 3 Hair Perfector. 2024 was the year where I finally found a good rhythm of when to apply this pre-wash hair mask, and I am pretty happy with the results, so I repurchased already. The Olaplex No. 4 P Blonde Enhancing Toning Shampoo, on the other hand, didn't convince me. It is nice, but I found it quite harsh on my hair and not better than whatever drugstore version I had. Another shampoo I liked but didn't love was the L'Oreal Elseve Nutri-Gloss Shine Shampoo. It makes my hair shiny without weighing it down, but the scent isn't really my favorite. 1 bottle of Batiste Dry Shampoo and Care Protect and 1 in Cherry that I already threw out, both of which were nice, but I prefer the original and have repurchased that one. And lastly, hair oil. 2 bottles of Garnier hair oil. They are different types, but work the same on my hair, so I keep repurchasing whichever I spot the day I need to stock up on. And 1 bottle of Olaplex number 7 bonding oil. Why 2 different types? I use Olaplex after washing and before I heat style, and the cheaper ones from Garnier each time before I brush my hair to reduce friction. And now makeup, featuring more concealers than anything else, which tells you everything about my sleep schedule you need to know. First, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Light that I adore, but replaced with a much more affordable drugstore version from Maybelline, and then the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer for under eye in 1.5 that I use for spot concealing as well as under the eyes. I like that one a lot too, but haven't replaced it yet, probably because I haven't the patience to do much spot concealing anyway. For foundation, I have the L'Oreal True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum in Very Light, which is my go-to for every day and has already been repurchased. For eye makeup, there are 2 Catrice High Performance 24-hour brush liner in black, because I still wear black liner every day, and 2, where did I put the second one? L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascaras in black. I have experimented with other mascaras over the year, but that one still remains my favorite and will be repurchased. Then I have 1 Sephora Shape and Set Clear Brow Gel, which was okay, but not strong enough to keep my brow hair in place more than 3 hours, and 2 nail things from Essie. The Essie Gel Couture Top Coat that I already repurchased, and then the Essie Nail Polish in Bubbles Only, which isn't completely empty, but dried out and is one of my favorite shades to wear, so I got a fresh one. And we're done. If you managed to stick around until the end, thank you so much. I will see you again in 2025.